Hi guys, welcome back to the whole coin journey. So in this video here, we're going to look at one topic that every crypto holder should understand: how to store your crypto safely. I'm going to take a look here in this video at the different ways in which you can store not only Bitcoin but crypto for the long-term holding. I also aim to gather an understanding for myself here on how the differences of storage options there are out there and the different wallet options which are available to a long-term stacker. How we're going to do that is by first differentiating between the types of storage options out there, custodial and non-custodial, plus then also the pros and cons of each of those, and then go deeper into different options within those respective metrics of hot and cold wallets, so I know exactly what kind of storage would suit me. So without further ado, let's get into it. So when researching the best crypto wallet options out there, two words primarily came up a number of times: custodial and non-custodial. So the definition of the word custodial is essentially having responsibility to protect. Custodial wallets in this landscape do something just like that, in which funds are stored via a third party and managed by someone else. In this scenario, as you can see in the middle, your coins as well as your private keys are stored within a central exchange. So in essence, the custodian stores your private keys for you, which is supposed to guarantee their safety. Some well-known custodial storage options here are companies like Coinbase, Binance, and Kraken, which offer exchange services at the same time. On the flip side, we have non-custodial storage. These wallets are where you yourself primarily control the private keys to access your wallet, meaning you and only you have access to those funds. We can break this down a little bit further as we will explain that there are some important differences in the non-custodial wallet space between the types of wallets, such as hot and cold. But essentially, the differentiation here is that non-custodial wallets, you are the primary owner and controller of those private keys and therefore the crypto stored within the wallet, versus custodial options where you don't necessarily own the crypto. Some of these options here include Trust Wallet, MetaMask, Ledger, and Trezor. So overall, there are definitely some benefits and drawbacks to both options, which we'll outline further here. Now, as explained in one of my previous videos on how to buy Bitcoin, the custodial wallet option definitely, in my opinion, comes with a lot more easier setup and use. So many custodial wallets are literally behind the respective exchanges and are usually held separately from other funds. Most likely in any exchange which you likely leverage will have a terms and conditions section which outlines that the crypto is held separately apart from any funds which they use to trade, for example. So in custodial wallet terms, it's literally just as easy as buying crypto on an exchange and leaving it there. So most exchange-based custodial wallets also allow for recovery options if you've forgotten your password to log in, for example, which will then re-enable your access to your wallet where you've traded crypto. Some of the biggest drawbacks of custodial wallets, though, are that you don't truly own the crypto that's held within your space. Not your keys, not your crypto is a very important saying in the crypto space for that very reason. Alongside this, we have seen evidence in the past of risks that exchanges have been hacked or they've been shut down. And finally, custodial wallets do also sometimes come with KYC control, which means there is a great limit on your privacy and control. So for non-custodial wallets, as you see here, you have full control and ownership of your crypto. There's also no third-party risk, which means you are technically your own bank. There's also a tremendous amount of privacy and decentralization in the ability to hold your own keys and crypto. However, with that increased privacy and control, there are some drawbacks. You do have more responsibility as an individual holder to make sure that your seed phrase and private keys are safe. If you do lose any of those, you're unlikely to recover any of your crypto. It does also mean a steeper learning curve for those that are newly into the space, which means you might have to do further research in order to ensure that your non-custodial wallet is set up correctly and securely. So now that we've covered the differences here between custodial and non-custodial wallets, let's talk about another important distinction, which are hot and cold wallets. So the main differentiator here when we talk about a hot and cold wallet is its access to the internet. A hot wallet is connected to the internet at pretty much all times and includes most custodial wallets that we spoke about before, like those ones on exchanges, Kraken, Coinbase, what have you, as well as some non-custodial options like MetaMask and Trust Wallet. A cold wallet, on the other hand, is completely offline. This includes hardware wallets like Ledger or Trezor, paper wallets, and even air-gapped devices, which have no access to the internet at all. So as you see outlined here, there are some definite benefits to hot and cold wallets, which we'll explain now. So for hot wallets, they are very fast and convenient. They do allow quick access to your crypto. For example, MetaMask does have a Chrome extension which enables you to perform fast access on moving crypto. If you're leveraging DeFi, for example, you can just basically authorize the MetaMask wallet to transact on your behalf, and it's also quite easy to set up. Some of the consequences of hot wallets though is that they are more vulnerable to hacking attempts, malware and phishing attacks, and they also provide a greater risk when it comes to long-term storage options. Some of the benefits of cold wallets, however, are that they are extremely secure. When you don't have any access to the internet and they're completely offline, they're immune to any type of hack. They're also considered the best options for long-term holders with large amounts of crypto, as they are generally considered more secure. So some consequences for cold wallets are that they are a lot less convenient and more cumbersome if you're looking to do more frequent transactions, and the initial setup can be quite intimidating for beginners, as it might be a steep learning curve. Finally here though, if you do lose the device or recovery phrase, you could lose permanent access to your crypto. As of now, around about 17% of Bitcoin will be lost forever because people have had this scenario happen to them, where a hard drive has been thrown away or a cold wallet has been misplaced or stolen. It can be pretty significant, as outlined in this article here. So I went ahead and broke this down a lot further to visualize what options there are in various camps. So as you can see here, there are a number of options when choosing how to store your crypto. It does definitely come down to personal options and choice, but for me personally, I would very much be focusing on the privacy aspect of crypto ownership and taking a further look into the non-custodial cold wallet option, as I think for long-term stacking, this will be the safest avenue for me personally. But apart from that, let me know what options have worked best for you and your experiences with hot, cold wallets. Thank you very much for taking the time to review this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.